Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Hindu Center of Atlanta's special series on Chaitra Navratra. Acharya Brahmdevji has joined us from Mauritius. Acharya will help us to understand the real meaning of Ramnavmi by taking the examples from the life of Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Sri Ramchandraji. Acharya is taking the reference from the Valmiki Ramayana. Acharya Brahmdevji has had an inclusive educational background in science, banking, University of Mauritius, Management, ABE, UK, and Darshanacharya, Vedic Philosophy, Darshan Yoga Mahavidyalaya, Gujarat, and a diverse career in financial services, industry, and at Arya Sabha, Mauritius. He has been a key resource person for Arya Sabha, Mauritius on the universal Vedic values, yoga and meditation, and on interfaith and intercultural dialogue at various national and international forums. The Mauritius Council of Religions, Arya Pratindhi Sabha America, Greater Atlanta Vedic Temple, and Hindu Center of Atlanta Yoga and Meditation Center in Cumming. He is author of insightful articles on Vedic philosophy and contemporary issues in English and French. Over to Acharya-ji.
Om. Namaste, everybody. Let's bring our mind to focus. Sit down straight, close the eyes gently, body totally relaxed. Deep inhale and exhale. Feel the breath going in and out of the nostrils. We're going to do Om Jap and Gayatri Mantra, which is the Guru Mantra, and used other mantra during learning. Om Bhurbhuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om. Slowly, gently open the eyes, keep the focus. We had looked into the previous days on what is the Ramayana about, what is devotion, and we also looked into some of the concepts of what makes the brilliant personality of Sri Ramchandraji and how Ayodhya was being ruled, the importance of Putreshti Yaj as laying the foundations for having good children, good offsprings, and thereafter a good generation. Today we'll be looking about probably what we can say the transmission of knowledge. The kids who are growing in the kingdom, they were taught by Maharshi Vasishtha, and comes a period when Maharshi Vishwamitra comes to Dashrath, asking the king to send the eldest son Ram along with him, because he was doing one Yaj Anushtan one yaj which he was doing with the specific objective of universal welfare, but at the same time he knew the Rakshasa or the demons were going to disturb his sadhana, his spiritual endeavors, and he asked that Sri Ram be sent with him. Dashrath eventually, as the normal reaction of any father, Sri Ram was only 15 years old and he said he was only a kid. If you won't take me along with the army and everything. But then he had already promised Vishwamitra that he's going to grant him whatever he requests for. Vishwamitra tells him, look, you have to keep to your word. You can't give me the army, you can't come yourself because I asked for Sri Ram. And that was a way of getting Sri Ram out of the kingdom to give him some special knowledge, special instructions. And we find in the 13th subchapter of the the Balkan is one of the main chapters, but then it's constituted of about 35 or 37 subchapters. 13th one says, when Rishi Vishwamitra is about to give him the knowledge of Dhanurved, military science. He asked him to sit down by the river Saryu on the way that he was going to his ashram. And both Lakshman and Ram were there. Both sat down on the side of the river. First they had their bath, then they had Achman. They did their prayers. And the shlok says, Adhyardhya yojanam gatva saraiva dakshinetati rameti madhuram vanim Vishwamitrobhya bhashata. So Vishwamitra told them, have your bath, physical cleanliness, and then sit down by the river Saryu. Just meditate for spiritual cleanliness. Then he says, Valmiki ji writes, Grihana vatsa khalilam ya bhutkalasya pariyaya mantra gramam grihana tuam vatnamati vatnam tatha. Rishi Vishwamitra addresses them as Vatsa, beloved children. Now do your Achman, and I'm going to give you the mantras with the knowledge. Achman karlo mantra sahuro bala or ati bala namak vidya ko grahan karo. That is, when one mantra is given to somebody, it has to be given with the full knowledge of what is there in the mantra. And the Dhanurved is the military science. And after that, Rishi Vishwamitra gives him all the details of the military science and confers the power to master so many types of ammunitions that are used in warfare. So we learn from that whenever we get Diksha from the Guru, it's not only a mantra that is given, but the whole knowledge imbibed in the mantra that is given. And that unfolds also the Vedic way of life, the Vedic way of teaching. Then in the next chapter, we have one verse which says, the last part of it says, Snatva kritodako viro japitu paramam jayam. So the two princes, bowing to Rishi Vishwamitra and complying to his guidance and instructions, they sit down After bath and आचमन, स्नान और आचमन करके गायत्री मंत्र का जाप करने लगो. That is, Paramam Japam is with Gayatri mantra, or which we know as Guru mantra. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. In the same chapter, it says, Snatascha Krita Japyanscha Hutahavya Narottam. So Narottam, Naro mein Uttam. And that's where we also join the word Purushottam. Nar means human being, and Uttam means the highest level. And its highest level, not by birth, but by character, by actions, and by nature. And one of the duties of such noble person is to daily do Jap, Sandhya, and Yajna. We saw Jap in the previous mantra, then comes Kritadhyascha Huta Havya. And we move ahead in the next chapter, then comes Tarka Vad. Sri Ram says, Tarka being a demon, but then she's a lady. Killing a lady is a sin. I'm just going to cut her nose and ears and ask Lakshman to do that. And that suffice as punishment for the Rakshas that was going to disturb their learning phase. But then Rishi Vishwamitra tells them, no, she's an evil doer. And the scriptures prescribes that evil doers have to be eliminated if they don't come and toe the line of stopping doing evil and adopt the good behavior. And Ram and Lakshman complies to that. That shows to us the concept of ahimsa is not unconditional compliance to ahimsa. To protect dharma, to protect our own life, to protect common good, the use of force to some extent, to some degree, is allowed. And comes also what Manusmriti says, dharmo rakshati rakshita. To protect dharma, we have to stand for dharma, and then dharma will protect us. And this is the reason why Ram, complying to that, goes for killing of Tarka. Then comes the episode of Siddhashram. And the beauty of Siddhashram is that Vishwamitra Rishi, he stays at Siddhashram for some time and tells Sri Ram, this is called Siddha Ashram because people went there for tapasya and spiritual and upliftment and realize their goals. Siddhiyan ko प्राप्त करना, अपने लक्ष्य को सिद्ध करना. Realize their goals of physical, mental, moral, spiritual upliftment. So it shows to us whatever name is given, whether it's to a place, whether it's to a country, or whether it's to a certain region, whether it's to a person, those names have underlying meanings, and these can only come to light only when we strive, we put up the efforts to realize the names. The next chapter, when they are going about to Mithila, the kingdom of Janak, then it says, Imosma manushardulaha kinkaroi samupagato Ajyapaya Manu Muni Shrestha Shasanam Karavavakim. Ram says, Hey Shrestha Muni, addressing Vishwamitra ji, हम दोनों आपके दास उपस्थित है, आज्ञा दीजिए. That is the concept of surrender to the Guru to get the best of knowledge. And the Guru will give all the knowledge in all humility. And this is the concept of so-called Ishwar Pranidhan in Yoga, surrendering to God, where God gives us all the knowledge through Samadhi. And this is how God gave the knowledge of the Vedas to mankind. It's the same concept for them to get the knowledge. Surrender to that. And the Guru is the ideal in terms of character, in terms of everything. Those who walk the talk. And again, giving the orders to Ram and Lakshman. Guru Vishwamitra says, Methilasya narasreshtha janakasya bhavishyati. Narasresht, addressing Sri Ram. Though Sri Ram was only a student to him, but he knew the potential, encouraging Sri Ram to live to that ideal. We looked in the first of this series, what was the definition of Ram? Anandena, the one who gives happiness, confers happiness to all. And how to motivate that person to unfold that characteristic apart from all the people in the surroundings. Vishwamitra has a crucial role in unfolding that character. So that's why we always refer to Sri Ramchandra ji as Narottam or Purushottam. And in the next subchapter of the Balkan, the 21st one, we see them partaking food as prasad. What we usually do is when we cook lunch or dinner, we just sit down and eat. No. Ganga Chat, sitting on the side of the river Ganga before going into Mithilesh, the kingdom of Janak. They sat down, they had their prayers, they did their yaj and whatever was, they did also the offering of some food to yaj and giving some of the food to other living species, to birds and other animals. Then they had the food as the word is there, yaja shishtan. It says, Vivi Shurja Ravi Tireshu Chau Mudita Manasa Vishwamitram Mahatmanam Paricharya Samanjana. So the food that they ate is after bath, after Sandhya mantra, and then after yaj, and this is the yaj shesh, and this is what we call prasad. Unfortunately, in the modern world, we take prasad to be some sweet and everything. No, prasad is really after giving to the needy, after catering for other forms of life, and then taking what is left for us. So we see that the Ramayana, the inside knowledge of the Ramayana is deep and really deep in meaning. That's why whenever we go to that, let's go back to the roots, to the Valmiki Ramayana. We'll look into the Balkand also tomorrow, and then we'll look into the general lessons from the life of Sri Ram and the Ramayana in the next 4 or 5 remaining sessions. Thank you for your attention, And just remember, your queries can be sent to us on Facebook Messenger, on the Facebook page of Hindu Center of Atlanta, or through email. It's hinducenterofatlanta@gmail.com. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, Dhananjayji, for the closing.
Thank you, Acharyaji. We will continue this series tomorrow also, same time, tomorrow evening, 10 p.m. Eastern Time.